This is what Dallas actually costs. Not just the mortgage, everything. I've watched families move here thinking it's cheap and then leave broke 18 months later. I've also watched families save $2,000 a month coming from the exact same city. Same metro, opposite outcome. I've helped over 100 families buy homes in the DFW in just the past 2 years, coming from Chicago, New York, California, New Jersey, and just about everything in between. The difference between the ones who win and the ones who lose comes down to just 5 simple questions. I call it the 5-question reality check. Get 4 right and Dallas actually saves you money. Miss 3 and you'll overpay no matter which suburb you pick. By the end of this video, you'll know your spot on the Dallas ladder, entry, mid, premium, your target areas, and whether this city actually fits your lifestyle. Question 5 trips almost everyone, and it has nothing to do with money. Question 1 is, what's your household income and where do you actually land on the Dallas ladder? Forget percentages, let's talk about real dollars, what I call your true monthly. That's everything that leaves your bank account for housing, not just the mortgage, everything. Okay, so quick rule before we dive in. The further from the city center we go, the more affordable homes actually get. And that's true for all 3 tiers. I'm going to break the mid-tier down in detail and then give you the math for the entry and the premium tier. Okay, so this is where most relocating families land. Frisco, Allen, Plano, and then Flower Mound. Pre-owned in those areas, roughly $550,000 to $800,000. Median is around $700,000. Now new construction, that's $700,000 to $1 million. And median for new construction is right around the $900,000 mark. Let's use $700,000 as a benchmark. 20% down and current rates. That's $3,650 a month, property taxes around $1,400 a month, and everything else, HOA, neighborhood fees, and insurance, that's around $700 a month. And that's your true monthly, almost $6,000, $70,000 a year just on housing. Now here's what I call the paycheck test. If your housing expenses are more than 1 week of your take-home pay, you're going to feel it every single month. At $6,000 a month, you'll need to be bringing home at least $15,000 a month after taxes. That's roughly $200,000 to $230,000 in household income. If you're under that, you'll feel the squeeze. And here's the thing, this happens constantly, especially with the West Coast Bay Area families. They come in thinking $900,000 a month buys you a mansion. Now in Palo Alto, that buys you a garage. In Frisco, it'll buy you a legitimate 3,000 square foot home with the pool that's pre-owned, but the true monthly still shocks them. Okay, so let's talk about the entry tier. That's the McKinney outskirts, Anna, Melissa, Forney, and parts of Arlington. On a $450,000 home, your true monthly runs you about $3,500 to $4,000. So 1 in 4 listings has a price cut, meaning there's room to negotiate. Okay, so the premium tier, that's the Hamptons of the Dallas area. Southlake, Westlake, and Highland Park. Okay, so entry level for this area is about $1 million home, and that's baseline. On a home like that, your true monthly hits about $7,500 to $8,000. Now for that, you're gonna need a $300,000 minimum household income to pass the paycheck test in those areas. Now you know the Dallas ladder, but your tier isn't just about income. Where you work actually changes everything. So question 2 is, where do you work and how does that affect your tollway tax? So DFW is about 9,000 square miles, and where you work should actually drive where you live. So downtown Dallas is finance, law, and uptown is the techs and the startups. Las Colinas, you have your corporate headquarters, and in the Legacy Corridor, you have more corporate headquarters and Toyota and more tech. And on the west side of town, in Fort Worth, you've got aerospace and military defense. I've had a family move here to the west side of town, and their drive went from 40 minutes to 50 minutes, then an hour, and now they're looking for every single way possible to get back closer to Dallas so that they can enjoy where they live to be closer to work. If you drive and Prosper but you work downtown, you're on the tollway every single day. I call this the Tollway Tax. $20 a day, $400 a month, and then $5,000 a year. That expense never shows up on a mortgage calculator, but now you know. In LA, you budget for traffic. In DFW, you budget for tollways. It's a different city, but more of the same trap. So a family once prospers, you've got great schools, new builds, then we map the commute. Both people work downtown, and that's $400 a month that they've never budgeted for. So they end up in Richardson. Yeah, you have an older home, but a 15-minute commute, that's $5,000 a year saved on just driving. Okay, so the job location is locked. Now the next question swings home prices by about $200,000 or more. Question 3. This is the most common question I get asked for everybody relocating. How much do school districts matter and what it's actually costing you? In DFW, school districts are priced into every single home. You're paying for the school rating whether you use the public schools or not. Highland Park School District, $3.2 million median. South Lake Carroll, $1.6 million. And on the other side, Frisco is $725,000, Allen at $675, and Celina at $550. Now that's just median home prices for a pre-owned home. Now, most good suburbs in Texas have great schools. Prosper ISD, more established with a 99.5% graduation rate. Celina ISD, 100% graduation rate. You're paying $350,000 more for half a percentage. If the name matters, peer groups, and instant resale value, and you've got the budget for it, then go ahead and spend the money. But if the outcome matters more than the names, in Celina, you're saving $350,000 for the same diploma and level of education. Schools, handled. Now the next question is where I see people make the most expensive mistake on this entire list. So question 4 is, what lifestyle are you optimizing for? The urban core is not always more expensive than the suburbs. Let's say you have a $600,000 condo in Uptown. You walk to work, no commute, so you have no expenses related to a car, or no necessary expenses. For the same price, you get a $600,000 pre-owned home in Prosper, but that comes with a 45-minute drive and $400 in tolls and gas. Over 5 years, that affordable suburb is quietly costing you over $25,000. Financial planners call this total cost of ownership, but the sticker price is just the beginning. Further out means lower sticker price, but higher commute cost. Find your balance. You want space and new builds? The outer suburbs work. If you want walkability and shorter commutes, the urban core might cost less all in. The last question actually has nothing to do with money, but catches almost everybody off guard. So question 5 is, can you handle triple-digit heat for 3 to 4 months straight? A lot of people visit Dallas in the spring or fall. That's when you have perfect weather. And then summer hits. Mid-June through mid-September, daily 95 degrees to 105. And then you have 30 to 40 days over 100 degrees. You can't walk your dogs after 9 a.m. because the asphalt is piping hot. And your kids' practice, you can move that to about 6 or 7 p.m. during the summertime. Outdoor life pauses from noon till about 5 p.m. for 3 whole months. Now, the trade-off is 9 months of really great weather, not having to shovel snow or clear ice off your car every single day. You can be outside in January and no snow for the most part. And if you're coming from a state like Seattle or Washington, there's no gray sky depression. The families from Seattle and San Francisco struggle most with this. Phoenix people handle it. Midwest adapts. Coastal California, about half of them stay and half of them leave. Neither is wrong, but you'll need to know which one you'll be before you actually sign. Okay, so you've answered the 5 questions. Here's how to read your results. Number 1, income matches your spot on the Dallas ladder. Number 2, job location aligns with where you're buying. Number 3, school districts actually fit your budget, not your ego. Number 4, lifestyle expectations match the area. And number 5, you can handle the heat. If you've checked 4 out of 5, then Dallas probably works for you. Now, if you've checked 3 or fewer, this may not be the right move. And knowing that now can save you a fortune. Okay, so let's put this into context even further. Same size house, same lifestyle, just a different bill. Dallas, $5,800, Seattle, $7,500, and the Bay Area, $9,500. That's $2,000 to $3,500 a month back into your pocket. Now, the numbers will vary a little bit, but that's a really good ballpark. Okay, just one more thing before we wrap. Right now, 1 in 4 homes in DFW has a price cut, and inventory is up 40%. Builders are offering rate buydowns as low as 3%. That's about $600 to $800 off your monthly mortgage that people don't even know about. So your first question in every model should really be, what are your incentives and rate buydowns currently? So knowing that, run both options, new construction and pre-owned. New builds have neighborhood fees pre-owned may need updates. And sometimes the older homes in the established neighborhoods are the smarter buy. Here's a truth that most people won't hear. 90% of families that move to Dallas try to pick their suburbs first and then try to make their budgets fit. They fall in love with the house, stretch to afford it, and then stress themselves out over the next 3 years. The families who win, they run the 5-question reality check first. They already know their spot in the Dallas ladder before they even reach out to an agent. If you've already figured out your tier and you're serious about doing this right now, the link is in the description to schedule a call. I'll help you narrow down the neighborhoods that actually fit, not just the ones that look good on Zillow, but the ones that work for your commute, your income, and your life. Now that you know your tier, the next question is obvious. Which neighborhoods actually deliver the best value at your price point? Hit that subscribe button because in the next videos, I'll be going over my personal favorite neighborhoods in the Dallas area. Tap that button and I'll see you there.